Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am this lovely pair of hands. No, but really, my name is Caitlin, I'm 29, and I love makeup. So, if you want to see my face that goes along with this voice, check out some of my other videos. But today, I am showing you my entire collection of blushes. It's been a long time since I did a video in my entire series, or my entire collection of series. I've made videos on all of the eyeshadows, highlighters, and foundations that I own, but I have not yet done one on blushes. So I counted, I think I have 31. Okay, 31 blushes. Yes, that's a lot. No, I don't need that many. Did I even realize I had that many? No. But I'm going to show them to you, and a lot of them are very similar, I'm not going to lie. But I'll let you know which ones I like, which ones I don't like, what's affordable, what's not. So if you are a blush fiend, like I apparently am since I own 31 of them, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, yes, my nails are naked. I think I'm gonna go pink for spring, but bear with me. I knew if I painted them now and I was like doing this with my thumb to like, you know, get them open, I was just gonna chip it. And there's nothing worse than chipping a fresh coat of nail polish in my mind. So I'm waiting till after I do all the blush compacts to paint my nails later today. So, I'm going to start with every blush I've gotten from Ipsy. So you guys have seen if you've been following me on my channel for a while. I subscribed to Ipsy. I actually recently paused it because this is all the blush that Ipsy has sent me. I know you can't even see it all in the frame, but it's a lot. Like I think there's like 12 of these that are just from Ipsy, almost half my blush collection. They send me a lot of blush, and some of them I like and some of them I don't, but I have too much. One of the first ones I think they ever sent me was this one. And by the way, Ipsy's also like the most obscure brands. This is Manicadar. I don't really know how you say that. This I actually have gotten decent use on. You can probably see there is a little bit of a divot in the pan. I haven't hit pan, but this is a nice color. It looks pretty deep considering how fair you can see from my hand that I am, but it's not like as pigmented on the face as it is in the pan, which I actually don't mind because then it's usable. So I do like this one. It's a little shimmery. It's in the shade Paradise, but I've never heard of this brand, and clearly I'm not going to buy it again. I have so many. Sometimes they also send you like doubles. Like I have 2 from Ipsy that are from Tarte. Now, at least they're different shades. I will say they do look kind of different on the inside. So this one I got more recently, and this one is in the shade Shimmer and Shake. And these are all, here's the other thing, guys. You know, I like to justify my collection. I do it a lot, but a lot of these are just little sample size minis. They're not the full sizes. So even though I say I have 31, like they're small, you know. So this was the first one they said in Shimmer and Shake. I don't even think I've used this. Clearly you can see the embossing very much so on here. I haven't messed it up yet. And then I'll compare that for you with the other shade I got from Ipsy, which is Quirky. A little bit of different packaging. I think this one's older. And would you look at that? I don't think I've used either one of these. Now here's the thing about Ipsy. They ask you like about shades and things to personalize it, but then you get, I've noticed, personalize it to match what you want, but then you get like very similar items. Like look at these 2 tones. Are these even going to look different on the skin? Here, I'm going to mess up the embossing and find out. Let me just do a little finger swatchy side by side. Like they're very pigmented, but like if you look at those on my finger, they look pretty much the same. Here, let me put them on my hand. Very subtle difference, but truly I don't need both of these shades. But I will say I'm not like one of these huge big makeup companies that I'm getting all this PR, blah blah blah, whatever. So even though these were only a couple bucks each through Ipsy, I'm not a person that does declutters because I've paid for all of these and I want to use them, and it's not that they're bad. It's just gonna take me a while to get through it, which is why I've been doing my what's new and what's through in my collection series to try and encourage me to use some of this instead of buying more. This is one of the first ones I ever got from Ipsy. This is in the shade Tango. It's from Hikari. I stray away from this one because, again, since it was one of the first things they ever sent me, they hadn't really customized that great yet to me, and this is quite vibrant for my fair skin. So definitely a summer shade. I can see I've used it, but like hardly. It's more of a pinky shade. So there's that one. This is the one I've been using right now. It's pretty worn. It's from Ciate London. I don't even know if you can see the label. It's in the shade Matchmaker. And this one is kind of like a blush and a highlighter put together in one. It's very, very shimmery. But when I say shimmery, guys, it's not glittery, because I do have a couple I'll show you later that are like chunky glittery that I just don't like. This is not like that. This one does have kind of like hard pan that I'm having issues with though. I don't know if you guys have ever fixed that. Let me know if you have, but I heard if you just take like a piece of clear tape and pull it off, that'll fix the hard pan. And what I mean by that is it's like so compressed that when I swirl my brush, nothing comes off, like the soft loose powder is trapped underneath. So I'm going to try to fix that with this one, but this was like a baked formula that was completely raised up. So while I haven't hit pan on this, I've used a lot up. So I've been trying to work my way through that one. Do like it, but again, I have 31 blushes, you guys. I'm not going to be repurchasing any of these at this point, because how long is it going to take me to get through 31 blushes? Years, right? I mean, I feel like years. This next one's from a brand called Bang Beauty, and it is in the shade Smoked Peach, which that just sounds divine to me, like that shade name. And honestly, I do really like how this one looks. Again, you'll notice most of these look brand new. I haven't used them very much, if at all, but this one is a shimmery one, and it's a little bit more, I don't know, how do I describe it? Like, I feel like that one right here, it's so shimmery, like I could almost use that as an eyeshadow. Like, it looks like an eyeshadow shimmer, which you can, you guys, you can do whatever you want. You can multi-purpose this stuff. It's fine. Next I have a blush from Steve Laurent in the shade Rose All Day. Oh look, another neutrally mauve color. That's like pretty much all I have, you guys, other than like the rare hot pinkish looking Hikari stuff like that. This one has a little nick in it, but works perfectly fine. This one's more of a matte. A lot of these are like satin finish too. I don't have a lot of like true matte blushes. I do have a few, but especially because I have texture, I feel like when there's a little bit of shimmer to it, it helps hide that a little bit. Even though this one is Pixie brand, I did not buy it. It is from, I mean, I bought it, but it's from Ipsy. I didn't go to the store. This one's in shade Beach Rose. A lot of rose names. You can still see the Pixie by Petra embossing in there. This one is a true solid matte. You know, I said I didn't have many. This one is, and I do really like this, but I have to make sure that I moisturize well. There it is at the bottom of my hand, because when they're matte like this, it can, I feel like, enhance my texture if I don't do the right primers or bases with it. This is from The Balm. I don't think I've ever bought The Balm in my life other than like through Ipsy. Have you guys? I feel like it's a brand that's dying. Like Becca just went out of business. I feel like this would be one that would be next, just in my opinion. But this is in shade, I think the shade's Houston Street. Oh look, another mauve. I mean, come on. Let's see the Steve Laurent I just showed you, like side by side. Again, they're very similar. All of these are very similar. I have a problem. It's fine. I paused my Ipsy bag, by the way, guys, for like 3 months because I was getting a lot of skincare, and I have a lot of that. And plus, even if I did get not skincare, like clearly I have enough stuff. So I think I paused it till July. Here's another one. It just says blush. This is from the company called Model Co, and it is in Peach Bellini. I've made a divot in this one too. You can see there's a little crack that just fell out. Little piece. Let me press that back in there. I have used this one a decent amount. I think this is also one of the first ones I ever got from Ipsy. When stuff gets like this and it's like kind of dinged up, that's when I'm like, okay, you need to get used up next. So like this Ciate one I told you I was working on, it had cracked. That's why I started working on it. I got it down to where it's past the crack, but that's when I'm like, okay, I need to work on you because you're just getting messy and you're not pretty to look at. So I'm not going to throw you away, but I want to use you up. I don't know how you guys are about that. I also, you probably noticed, anytime there's a box, I keep the box. I don't know why, I like to have the boxes. Do you guys do that? Or am I a psychopath and you get rid of it and you just keep the component inside? Let me know in the comments below. So this is from a brand called Dirty Little Secret, and it is in Kitty Pink. Love the name. Component is hard to open. Oh look, another neutral muffy tone. Like, they're all the same, guys. How many times do I have to tell you that? We'll see more variety, guys, in the ones that are Ipsy. Keep in mind, these are all just ones I've gotten from Ipsy. When we get into the ones I've actually bought, there is a lot more variety, so don't get too bored. Here's a little variety, speaking of right here. This is from Bella Pierre Cosmetics. This is a loose blush, like a loose powder blush, which I haven't seen that many brands doing this, and I gotta tell you, I really do like this one. It's nice. And this is in the shade, sorry, I'm gonna look here, Desert Rose. How many roses do we need, right? That's like all the shade names. But this is, I think, a mineral, yeah, it's a mineral blush. So that's why it's in a powder formula. So some people might not like that, might think it's a little bit messy, but as long as you just use a little concentrated amount, don't go crazy with it, don't treat it like it is a setting powder, I think you should be fine. I do really like this blush, and there is a solid amount, like that's a lot of blush in there. I've used this one quite a bit too, but you really can't tell because of how much is in there to begin with. Then our last thing from Ipsy. This is actually a duo. You guys might have seen me use this on my channel before. It's a bronzer and blush duo, but it does include a blush, so I wanted to include it in here. This is from Pacifica, and it is the Sunset Matte, I believe is the name of the blush, and Desert Matte is the bronzer. I do really like this one. It's pigmented. I just dip in once, and that is plenty. Sometimes I even have to go back and forth between both cheeks with one dip in it. So I wouldn't say that's probably for beginners. If you're a beginner, it's easy to go overboard. You're probably going to want something that builds more than something like this that is pigmented right away, which I have recommendations for you. So now we're going to go to ones that like I've actually bought. So here's ones I've been loving lately that I've mentioned to you guys. In fact, I think I even put this in my makeup I've been loving lately, like my current favorites video that I did a couple weeks ago. I'll link that up in the cards in the corner if you haven't seen that yet. But these Believe Beauty blushes, cream blushes. This is in the shade Doll Face. This is available exclusively at Dollar General. So I know you guys are like, oh, you said that you were gonna have different tones, and yet, just wait, trust me. So I have this one in Tropical Sunset. There we go. Guys, I love an orange blush. Truly, I do. So now you can see the difference. So those are two cream blushes. And then this one you guys haven't seen on my channel yet because I just got it. This is from a brand that I can't pronounce. The name's there on the bottom under cream. That's the name of the brand. But I found this online and it looked like, truly, tell me what brand in the comments that looks like down below to you. Tell me. Pause this and then come back. Okay, now that you've paused, it's literally Fenty Beauty, is it not? Like, really? So here is this one. It's deeper. So if you look at like all three of my cream blushes, these are the only cream blushes I have in my collection. That's kind of a new thing for me. These are all very different tones. This is more like, you know, my normal tone that I go for. But the one I got that's like the Fenty dupe is much deeper. And then this orange one. I haven't used this deeper one yet to see how it looks on my skin or what that formula is like how pigmented it is or how much it shears out or anything like that. I really don't know. I've used only these Believe Beauty cream blushes, so I'm not sure what to expect from that, but it will be what it will be. I'm gonna do, I think, Drugstore next, because I have some high-end and some Drugstore, because we like both of those things here on my channel, because why not? I definitely have more Drugstore than high-end. I probably only have a few high-end, to be honest, like 3, but I could say that probably about most of my collection. Let's start here with this Cracked Broken one. So I have 2 Palladio ones. These were just like a spur of the moment buy because they were on sale for $1.50. I like the brand Palladio. It's at Sally Beauty. This is kind of more like a deeper tone, almost more like that cream blush tone that I showed you guys that I haven't tried yet. Obviously haven't used this yet. I was using the other Palladio blush that I got. In fact, I think I filmed a Sally Beauty haul when I bought these, and within moments of having it and showing it on screen, I dropped it and shattered it. So I will still use this, but you know, it's in pieces and it's just really devastating. The shattered one I have is in shade, where are you, Bayberry. And then the first one I showed you guys is in Toasted Apricot. So those are, again, from the brand Palladio. They are matte blushes from Sally Beauty. This little guy was free. Sometimes Ulta does a thing where they're like, if you buy so much money's worth, it's usually somewhere around $20 of something of our brand, we'll give you this little goodie bag. This is another blush bronzer duo, but let me tell you, I genuinely really like this Cherry Blossom shade. You can see like how dirty it is. That's because I actually use it, you guys. If it's not dirty, that means I don't use it. If it's dirty, it is loved. So don't think of it as like, ew, gross. When you see people's stuff that's dirty, think of it as like, oh, that means that's actually good because they're using it. This was also from Ulta Beauty, but the labels weren't off. This was like an ombre. You can probably see a little bit at the bottom. There was like a shimmer on it, and I thought that shimmer was gonna run all the way through the whole blush, but unfortunately it was just like a spray on the top layer. So then I got bored of this because it's just matte underneath, and I felt like that was false advertising. That wasn't what I thought it was. So this is just labeled ombre blush. That's it. Ulta brand. And you know, the label's like gone. So I just, again, another that it's like, I just need to use up and get rid of it, but I haven't gotten to it yet because I'm working on my Ciate. But I've sure got some on backup that are looking crusty to use up after that. This, where did I even get this? Maybe a Dollar General or somewhere? I've never even heard of this brand. Fetish Face It Blusher. It comes with one of those brushes that like, who in their entire life has ever, like, unless you had to and you were in an absolute emergency, use one of these? Like, really, this does nothing. This is, make the rest of it cheaper because you don't have to make the packaging so big and add this waste of space. But I like the tone of the blush. Go figure. Same as a lot of my blushes, right? Same tone, but I saw it and it was cheap. It was like $1. So I got it. It's in shade I'm Innocent. So yeah, I have that. A while ago I did a full face of one brand video, like a while, and if I have videos of any of these guys testing them out, I'll leave them all in the cards in case you want to see them more in action, because I know I'm not swatching every single one of these blushes. Good lord, if I swatched all 31, we'd be here a while. Not that we're not here a while anyway. But this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush, and it is in shade Mellow Wine, but I got this for my full face of Wet n Wild testing out the brand video a while ago. I liked it. I just haven't used it because I've been using other stuff. Look, see, you can see where there was like some sort of one of those stupid brushes that I must have gotten mad at and thrown out. This component could be smaller and take up less space if that weren't there. We'll stick with Wet n Wild, because I do have these from Wet n Wild. They're called Hello Halo Blush Lighters. So they're kind of blush, but they're kind of highlighters, so I put them in here. One is called After Sex Glow, and that's this one. I guess I should show you so you know which shade is which. And this one's more the highlighter side, this one's more the blush side, but it's very shimmery. Like, you could use these as a blush topper if you wanted to, meaning use like a matte one underneath and then use the pinky toned blush that is still shimmery like a highlighter on top of that, so you can layer them. This one is in shade Highlight Bling. It's actually like this. I went to show you the shade. I'll show you through the plastic though, because it's not even open. I've never opened this one. They're very similar, like if you look at them side by side. I probably didn't need both of these, but I liked the concept. And they were cheap. That's always what gets me. Same thing with this one. It was cheap. It's in the shade Toast. I don't know why. I just thought that name was so cool. This is a little bit deeper than I normally go. $1 from Dollar Tree for this one from LA Colors. But I don't know. I just really liked, and it has like a little bit of shimmer to it. Right there. These swatches are all clearly very similar that we've got going on again. But it's shimmery. It's more shimmery than the others. All right, we're almost done. Next up, I have one I bought from BH Cosmetics. I also did a full video testing out BH Cosmetics. It was the first time I had tried the brand. So I bought this little floral blush. Thought it was cute. This is in the shade Fiji Fun. You could technically, I guess, use this as 2 different shades of blush, like if you just dipped in over here or if you just dipped in here. They are 2 different shades, but I honestly just swirl them. This is shimmery as well. Hopefully that's picking up on camera. And the next one was another one I got from Sally Beauty because it was on sale. It's only $3.09. This is from the Maybelline Fit Me line. This is in shade Buff. And there it is. I like this one. It's starting to get a little hard pan too. But this one actually shows up a lot more than you'd think. When I first got it, I was like, will this even pick up? Like, but I'm so fair, it does. It does. And then I blame Juicy Josh. She's another YouTuber here. And she raves about this. And this is in the shade Just Playful. She gets a different shade. She does have a different complexion that I do. Don't we all? But this is the shade I picked, and she was right. It's amazing, and it was cheap. This was like $3 or $4. So if you're looking for something cheap that's good, I would highly recommend the LA Girl Just Blushing collection. The Maybelline Fit Me line is really great. I really like both of those. And I would also recommend the Wet n Wild Color Icon. Any of those 3, I would say, are probably the cheapest, nice, like satin finish drugstore blushes. Now, last but not least, guys, high end. That's what we've got left. 3 high end pieces. Ooh, wait. I just found some hiding, of course. It's okay. These are like indie kind of high end too. So I've got 5 more. I thought I found them all, but the few were hiding here on my desk. Alright, so the first one is from Ofra, and this is in the shade Mai Tai. You might notice this is Ofra's old packaging. This, again, I'll link if I can find it and fit enough cards, but this is from a mystery box I got from Ofra that I really loved. And this blush is one of my summer go-tos. I love an orange blush in the summer. I love it so much, especially if I'm doing like brighter, more summery, you know, not just neutral looks on the eyes. I think this helps bring out the colors a lot. So they do still offer this Mai Tai, it's just in different packaging now. They have like the white square packaging, so you can still get this blush. It just might have different packaging. Next one I got actually from TJ Maxx, the next 2. They're high-end. First is this Too Faced cute little thing. This is in the shade Berries and Bubbly. It's a blush duo. I would argue one of these is kind of like a highlighter, right? Like look at this one. Wouldn't you say that's a highlighter, not a blush? But I guess it's a duo because that's more like satiny or matte over here, and they want you to do that as a topper. Now this is the one I was talking about where this is just like straight up chunky glitter. It is not shimmer, it is glitter, and it really emphasizes my texture, so it's not my favorite because of that. It is still scented. It says it's berry scented, but I don't know. It's just a strong fake scent. I don't know that I say it smells like berries like they claim. So they say you can use these individually as blush or highlighter or mix them together. I've never mixed them together. Maybe that's the key. Huh. I've never thought about that before, but this was still, even at TJ Maxx, like 15 or 17 bucks, but I just couldn't. Like with the packaging, it does have a mirror in here, and it's got this cute little cocktail glass on the mirror. I just couldn't resist it, you guys, is what it boils down to. And I feel fancy when I close that compact. I like this little corner, how it's like, you know, it's not just square. It's got a little spot where like there's an overhang so you can put your finger to lift it, and you don't have to, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, chip your brand new nail polish that you just painted on the packaging. Now, this is my only purple blush. It's from Lorac, and this is in the shade Ultraviolet. It is a buildable matte blush. Actually, I don't think this was TJ Maxx. Now I'm thinking about it, I think it was clearance at Ulta. But it's a high-end brand nonetheless, and I honestly love this so much. You wouldn't think purple blush would work. I would encourage you to check out Trixie Mattel. She is a drag queen on YouTube. She's won RuPaul's Drag Race before. She has her own cosmetics line. She just did a video applying her own brand's purple blushes to show how wearable they are. Truly, I think they are. I think you can get away with it. It's not as shocking and scary as you would think, especially if it's a formula like this where it is buildable. Oh, I love it. It looks like I haven't used it much, but truly that's not because I don't like it. This one, it's because I feel like I'm just saving it for special occasions. So there it is. It's just like a nice light wash of a berry tone that you can obviously blend and sheer out. Or use as eyeshadow, whatever. You know, if you want a monochromatic look, I know a lot of people that do that where they use the same bronzer or blush in their crease on their eyes as they do their face to make sure it's actually monochromatic and the same exact tone and the undertones are similar and everything. So next, this is this is the most expensive blush I own. I paid full price for it, but I think I used Ulta points. This is the NARS Infamous Blush. I had a sample from a magazine. I remember being in high school and they would have like Cosmo and 17 magazines, and sometimes they would have samples, and that was like the only time I ever get to try makeup that wasn't drugstore. I wasn't able to buy or get my hands on anything high-end, and I remember there was a sample of this, and I remember trying it, and that was the moment in my life when I went, oh, that's why things cost more when they're high-end. Now that I'm an adult, I know, you know, more money doesn't always mean better, but like the fact that there's a mirror in this like matte satin finish, soft touch matte, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So good. This blush, again, it's like I save it for special occasions. I don't even know if you can see it on camera, but it's right there. It's a very light wash, but I like that like natural look. It's a little more pinky than some of my other blushes, but I love that. I mean, obviously, like I said, keep her in the box. And the next one is the biggest blushes that I have here. This is from Lunar Beauty, is their Moon Prism blush palette. And yes, even though this is this much bigger than the NARS one, it still costs less. Just saying, I would not rebuy that NARS one just because I'm like, seriously, $40 for a blush. Like, get over yourself. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. Especially when you can get this with this beautiful packaging. It has these raised up moons, like the texture of it, you can feel it. Maybe you can see there, it's raised up, it's not flat. I love watching Manny's videos as an entertainer anyway. It has a full-size mirror that you can do your makeup in, and I have used it for that before. And then it has all of these blushes. It's a whole palette of blushes, you guys, with large pan sizes. This was $35, but for this I feel like, okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you got 6 blushes. So if you break that down, it's not that bad. And this is the palette that has now made me start like layering and using a lot of blushes, because these look really deep over here, which this was designed to be usable by all skin types, or tones, I guess I should say. But I actually like to use these two as well, and I'll just use it kind of back towards my ear where like my contour or bronzer are, just a little bit, and I'll almost like ombre or fade it into one of these two. I haven't used this shade this much, but this one is the only shimmery one, and sometimes I'll use that as a blush topper, which again, that basically means you're using a highlighter, but it's pinky tone, so you want to put it over the blush and not just like pink highlighter only on your face. I mean, you can, it's totally up to you, but this is one of my favorite blushes that I own. If I had to pick like what are my favorite things out of everything I've shown you, because that's it, you've now seen my entire blush collection, I would say this is probably honestly number 1. My favorite blushes I own in my entire collection. The Lorac, just because it is unique. I don't have a lot like that in my collection. The Best Orange, this Ofra collection, although I would also argue that, you know, if you're looking for cream blush, I like these Believe Beauties the best. Yeah, I would say those are probably my favorite blushes of all, which I know I'm sitting here having 2 indie brands, a high-end, and one drugstore. But it's not that the other ones are bad, guys. Like I said, I showed you those recommendations for drugstore, but if I had to say like what are my favorite blushes of all time, like if I had to get rid of every single blush here and I could only keep like what are your absolute tops that you have to have, I could narrow it down to these 5 and be fine and have something for every day. I would have an orange, a purple, cream every day. I mean, honestly, if I had the orange, I might be able to get rid of this other one, and the palette. And that would be good. I would be good. Now I have all of these. I like most of them, so I'm going to use them. But that's it. That's all my blushes. So what I would like to know from you, man, if you made it this far in the video, you're a true one. Thank you. But let me know in the comments down below, what is your most favorite blush? Is there one I need to try? Good heavens, it's not going to be like anytime soon because I have all these, unless there's a good sale, because I love a good sale. But I digress. What is your favorite blush? And let me know, is it like matte, shimmery? Is it a topper? What kind of satin finish? You know, what finish does it have? And if you have one you absolutely hate, you're like, oh gosh, it's the plague, stay away. I want to know that too. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I always look forward to reading and responding to all your comments. And if you're not already, please consider subscribing. I usually am not just a pair of hands, I'm an entire face, bringing you new videos every single Sunday, and it is free to click the subscribe button. So I will see you guys all on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.